Hello everyone, this is Dawn over at Plot Chronicles. Today is Monday, which Mondays I really like to dedicate to Favorite Authors Day. I may run out of favorite authors, but I'm going to get right into it. I want to do this because this way I may introduce you to new authors. You know, but let's just be honest, no matter what we have going on in our life, I think many of us may want to take more time to read because I read a lot because I read fast, but I would love to spend more time reading, but I usually read a little bit in the morning and then in the evening. So, and by the way, I've got a few more favorite authors, so I'm glad I'll keep doing it until I run out of authors. But today, I wanted to chat with you about Dr. Lucinda Berry. I've mentioned her before because I've done some reviews about a few of her books. I've only read a couple of her books so far, but I see a pattern and I really liked both of them. There's one of them I liked a little bit better, but I want to just tell you briefly about her. She may or may not be for you, but when I share this, if you're interested, you can do your own research and make your own decision. One of the things I am trying to do, and I know I've mentioned this before, I'm really wanting to branch out. I've noticed many of the booktubers out there, there's some that they primarily like to kind of, you know, they're maybe more one genre, like some people are maybe more into the fantasy and science fiction, and then there may be some people that are really into thrillers, and then there's some people that read a variety. And I think it's good to read a variety so that I can share, because let's say I do one on a thriller and you don't like thrillers, you may not be interested in that video, but maybe I do a historical fiction and you love that fiction, you were thinking of reading that book and you want to hear a little bit more about it. So I'm trying to branch out and read all different types of books, which I think could be good for the channel. But one of the things I like, Dr. Lucinda Berry, and I've mentioned her before, so I'll keep this brief, former psychologist and leading researcher in childhood trauma. And so some of the books you may not read, some may have be triggering, but I'm going to tell you the main reason I like her and why I like her books, because she takes things that have happened, obviously not telling who the real characters are, but she's taken things that have really happened, so true stories and fiction, kind of like historical fiction, and merged it together. Obviously, like I said, keeping people's lives private, but what I like about it is it gives you a deep character analysis to really get to know the characters. Like many of the books I've read, they throw so many characters out there that you don't even know what's going on with them. But with her, what I like, and I love when books do this, is she'll take a character and you really get to know what happens to them, and then you go into their past. So it might be like 10 years previous, you find out what happens till where they got to today. My favorite book of hers so far is Saving Noah, and I've already mentioned this book, but basically I'll sum it up. A happy family, a mom, a dad, a little girl, and a teenage boy. Well, this teenage boy was accused and guilty, and you'll see that in the description, of doing some things that are not socially acceptable, basically a crime. And the mom is, obviously everybody's horrified, but it's how it tears a family apart. I mean, I've known of things like this to happen. Imagine you're happily married and you've got a child that does a crime, or basically a teenager. And imagine how that can tear a couple apart because they each want to handle the situation differently. But the Saving Noah was just, it was a really intense story, and you find out a major secret at the end that really actually shouldn't have shocked me, but it did. So I highly recommend reading that book, but they are deeper and it is kind of triggering. So Dr. Lucinda Berry may not be for everybody, but what I love is you really get to know the characters, and she talks about difficult subjects that are hard to talk about but really happen in real life. So let me know if you've read any of her books. Do you guys like deep character analysis? Let me know one of your favorite authors. That's all I have to say. I love you, appreciate you, and I hope you come back for tomorrow's video. Bye, everybody.